Morning, everybody. Who don't I know? I've got you on. How many of you compete in something? Max, what do you compete in? Marching band. I didn't realize, is marching band a competition? Well, no, I don't know. I never played an instrument good enough to be in band. But when you say it's a competition, do you mean you have to audition and try out?
You can sign up for marching band. The competition takes place
Against the other bands. Oh, of course. Oh, and they're the band competition. So when you go to band competitions, it's like, how many?
Maybe 6, maybe 15 bands.
Wow. Wow. And you're judged on what? Your choice of your dancing ability with the instrument?
You're judged on your skill on marching, how clean it is, how clean the beat is.
How precision conscious you are. Good, good. What about you, Angelica?
Girl Scout badges.
Girl Scout badges! We had this discussion the other day about Girl Scout badges. Yeah, we were always curious as to how come all the kids who were the Girl Scout leaders' kids had more badges than we did. One of those age-old stories. Tristan? Soccer. And your what position do you play?
Well, we're not playing anymore. The soccer season is over. But usually we play me as halfback or forward.
Halfback or forward. Okay. Huh? Color guard. Is color guard a competition within Girl Scouts? Is that, or is that in school? Oh, so you compete with other people to get into that position?
You have to try out for it.
Uh-huh.
You figure out your team with flags and rifles, and then you go to the competition like in Riverside.
I want you to turn around and see what Alex and Oliver do. What is this called? Wrestling. Now, how many of us, have you ever wrestled with your siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah? Tell me, what's the point of wrestling? To win? Yeah, but how do you know you won? When the other one's pinned, right? And what's the pinning? The pinning is, you have to be pinned in what? How many places? 3. Am I right? 3 places. You have to be pinned in 3 places. At wrestling, that person has to be touching the floor in 3 places. That's how you know you won. For a count of 3. I want you to keep these 3s in your mind, the wrestling 3s. What, Alex?
Me and John are competing in a science fair.
Competing in the science fair, absolutely. The wrestling that these guys are doing is something that in our scripture today, we find Jesus wrestling. Now, are there places in which in your life where you wrestle with things other than your siblings?
Yeah.
Like what? You wrestle with animals. Name you one. People trying to compete with you with grades. So that's wrestling with with somebody who's trying to get a better grade than you, because it's important for you to have you're fine. It's important for you to have
Me?
yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? The phrase. It's important for you to have the upper hand. That's the expression. What other things do we wrestle with in our lives? Go ahead, Tristan.
Trying to do our homework and after school activities.
Trying to do our homework and after school activities. So you're wrestling We wrestle with decisions. We wrestle with trying to balance our lives. We wrestle with all sorts of things. And when we get too tired and too tuckered out because it won't budge, it won't change, it won't fix, it won't do what we want it to do, I want to remind you that in that moment of just saying, I give up, God is right there next to you. Right there next to you, and will help you find the way. Now, you may not know what I'm talking about right this minute, but when you're in a moment of wrestling, I want you to just stop, and I want you to look around and find God next to you, and know that God is there to help you find the way. Gracious God, bless these children who have an awful lot to look forward to in this life. There will be challenges that they need to wrestle with. We ask you, protect them, keep them safe, and be by their side always. Oh, you were such a wonderful props.